Hi everyone, you're watching Jana Effects, and in this video I'll make technical analysis for the coming week. As usual, we'll have a look at main base, important levels, and possible entry points. Okay guys, so last week I was trying to do live video, it didn't work well. My connection, I guess, is not as fast and strong, so I decided to go back as usual, pre-recorded video, okay, so with the better quality. So yeah, unfortunately it was much easier for me to do, of course, the live, because I don't need to do any editing. This one takes a little bit longer then afterwards to edit it and sending it to YouTube, uploading it. It takes time. Okay, yeah, let's start with the technical analysis. Okay, so we have euro dollar pretty much this week. Everything I was telling you in the previous video, the expectations were exactly happening, like pretty much 99, let's say even 100% accuracy. And euro dollar, this is 1 hour chart, but let's go in 4 hour chart so we can see again the main picture and my entry point straight away. So you see guys, this is where we stopped, and I was warning you about it, right? So that even we were looking like quite on the bottom, right? And a lot of people were looking into buys, and I was telling you that I wouldn't be buying here for like a long term yet, right? Because we don't have turning point yet, okay? Dollar is still stronger. They're talking about tapering, right? Even for this week, there were some weak news for American dollar, but still they're talking about tapering in November. So that's the kind of all around it. Anyway, so you see we had a little bit of the move up above 16, and then it's just continued the way down, which I was also telling you that a lot of people were trying to buy here, probably lots of stops. So that's why I said that my view was possibly it will go down again. Once again, so technical picture, as you can see here guys, is still bearish. Okay, it's a downtrend. We still have low which broke the previous one, and the highs lower than the previous one. So it's a usual technical overview with a little bit of here again a turning around point, right? So we have a little bit of slight up trend, which could be a correction inside this downtrend channel. But of course, after such a big move down, like I'm saying, it quite possibly could be a nice correction. There will be, of course, news again this week, so be aware, and possible reaction. But also, I will not be excluding that it could be, because of this not very good news for American dollar, maybe the pairs will try to go into a little bit of correction, okay, and trying to take an advantage of those bad news. But like I'm saying, the still expectation is that dollar should get stronger. So anyway, if we will just look at this picture, right, expectation that could possibly go for correction again to 116, who knows, maybe we'll try to be higher or something, but technically should continue inside this downtrend channel, because at this moment this is just a slight move. We do have a possible double bottom. Yes, that could be a stronger indication of turning around, but at this moment I'm looking at it as a bearish, right? So for the short term, my entry points on 1 hour chart, it would be easier to show you guys. So here I'm not going to place any orders at that point, okay? But if you can see, we are a little bit going up. So I want from here with the opening of the market to pair either to go down a little bit here, right, to go back, and if it will start to consolidate in here a little bit, of course the expectation would be possible continuation and going high again to 116 inside our trend channel, right? At the same time, yes, it might break it and continue the way down to like 115. But you see guys, if it will start to consolidate here, then I will have enough, you see, to go back to 116. So I have about 40 pips, and of course from here to go to this level, right, or even further. So if it will stop here, this would be 50-50, one way and another way, a nice area. From here, as you can see, it is a bit risky to wherever buy or sell, because you see here very close to 16 could be stopped, and at the same time that level is also could be stopped, right? So it's only about 16 pips. So that's why this area I'm not looking as a possible entry point, okay? So I need this to move one or another, and this is where we'll be looking for my possible entry points. So let's say if it's not going to break any of this level, so it might just, like, you know, stuck in here, then of course I will look if it will go closer to maybe this area, more narrowing, like maybe accumulating again something, or go and stay on the 16 area around here for a while, right? So like for example, might go down, go back up and start to see it like above breaking out from this channel. Then I would look at this area. So it's pretty much easy with euro dollar. Quite possible entry points all around this area, okay? But like I'm saying again, I'm still more bearish, but I will not be excluding that it could possibly go for correction, right? But I'm still not looking into going into long-term trades. This moment is still the small ones, taking my 10 pips as usual, close half positions, and the rest of it running by trailing stop, which I use again my heavyweight. So it's like at this moment that's the way. Until we will see what is happening with that tapering, anything else will come out, and a little bit more of the technical. I don't know, like I'm saying, it could possibly end up as a double bottom, and then would be a little bit more confirmation, you know, because you see we need to have a bit better top, and then like higher top to break out through, then go back and give us another bottom, which is also need to be high, but at this moment it's still kind of bearish, okay? So that's my view on euro dollar. Pound dollar, as expected, I was telling you that pound was looking a bit stronger because of calm down with all the situation, right? If there's an energy crisis, petrol, and the expectation was that pound should, like instead of like, compared to euro dollar, right? I was telling you last week that euro dollar looks more like going down, pound dollar looks like more going up, even though of course the pairs both should be going really the same direction. But you see, we from here is expected to went back to 136. Well, created actually double top here, tried to go back down. You see, didn't go further, didn't made its whole U-turn to inside the downtrend channel. It's actually continued slightly going up again. So you see, I could put this also a little bit into the changing direction, right? A little bit into the uptrend. But again, this is not strong yet, okay? So just a little bit. Possible it's not breaking out. You see, guys, again now going into a smaller time frame, like as you know, I'm still quite bearish with all the pairs against dollar. Don't see anything yet until it will be done with the taperings, and then afterwards maybe something else. It's pretty much on the same, you see, on the same height, slightly higher was this top from the previous ones, and the bottoms are a little bit higher, but didn't have enough strength even with this bad news. As you can see, the reaction on the bad news for American dollar wasn't very strong. So it's obviously, like I'm saying, it looks like it's the pairs are ignoring, and dollar is still continuing to be stronger. So yeah, with this a little bit of possible higher top, then this could possibly be continue the way up a bit. Like I'm saying, it still might go into correction because it come down a little bit in England with all of the situation previously was. So yes, I will not be excluding it might try to go up. So anyway, my entry point, well, this definitely here is a nice area. Like again, with opening of the market, if it's not going to have any jumps, like no gaps or anything else, possibly I will be looking at placing still the sell order from that level, right? So we do have a nice, it could be wherever, go anywhere, right? Well, I mean, it might try to go like, you know, stop at this bottom, or still would be expecting a little bit more because it's been sitting here for a while. It was trying to break through this area, which is about half as usual. You see, like 36.5, right? It touched it. Like I told you, watch out for pound. It likes to go on main numbers and the 50 half. And before you see, it was staying slightly underneath 36.50, and tried once and second and third. So on the fourth time, it's actually like broke just a little bit and touched that 36.50. Like you see, even a little bit broke it. So that's why from here it might continue the way up. So my expectation here for some consolidation, right? So if, for example, it will just open and I will not see any like consolidation or anything. I don't know, maybe it will go a little bit higher again, but not as high, right? Not trying to break that top. I will be placing a sell order from here, right? A little bit, of course, as usual with my distance from that level, but from here, pending sell order, expectation going down. If it will have a nice channel, right, a little channel, then I will be looking at placing in both directions. There is also, on Monday will be holiday in America, isn't it, right? So it will be closed American session, so looking at the European session, obviously, opening the market. and European session. So and from here you see if it will consolidate, of course then expectation would be it will be trying to break the top. Okay, so and that's why it could be a nice move, might continue all the way to 37 or who knows, breaking 135 and stop wherever it wants. But anyway, so that's the point. If it will consolidate, I'm placing the orders both directions. If it will just go up a bit and then go back down without breaking that top, then I will be only placing the sell pending order from here. So that's pretty much it. And then we will see if whichever next level it will choose. Okay, Australian dollar. Okay, for our chart, we have here the same, had a little bit of moving up, so slightly you see creating like also looking like a bit of a double top, then tried to go back down, not too far, stopped by previous level, and then came back in still the same area. So it's a little bit sitting in here. Started also to try to break out, so pretty much like I'm saying, once again it could possibly continue the way up, but at the same time you see it's creating a little bit of a double top, so can move any direction. Once again, for possible entry point in here, it's a little bit, I don't like it as much. I mean, yes, it does, you see, look like a bit of a double top, but still the top is higher, and that's why from here it might still try to break up, or who knows, maybe we'll try to go back down. See, it's a little bit too close to this level because it can stuck in here, and to be honest, it would be better if it will do something like that and then just stay, then that would be the area. Okay, again, to place the possible pending order buy from there and expecting to break that top and continue the way up. Okay, so if something like this, then it would be a little bit more reasonable, and at the same time breaking this one and go down. So I would wait a little bit, because here I don't really like this as much. Okay, so maybe in a little bit this area would be all right. You see, from here it might also go a little bit to the previous. I know sometimes you think it's too many levels, but you see these levels from the bigger time frames. You see, that's the bigger time frame, which is a downtrend channel, right? And at the same time the pay came out from it and trying to go back in, and so that's why we have this uptrend channel in here. So it's not really confusing if you know what I'm talking about and showing you, right? And these are also the price levels where it could be stopped. So you see here we still have Australian dollar when it's tried to break out, but it came back. It's still inside the uptrend, but underneath the downtrend. So you see, it's the situation this moment with the markets. It could be both directions. Once again, you can't really say at this moment if it's really in an uptrend or downtrend channel, right? Wherever is up, whatever trend is, because as you can see in the bigger picture, even here it's still also above. So it's like trying to go up, but as a correction of this move down, you see. So we're still looking at it as a downtrend, and so it's trying to go for a bit of a correction, and that's why from here you see it might go for that, or because the dollar is still stronger, you see it might try to drop again. But all of these levels could be stopping points at any moment, so that's why I wouldn't go like sell and expected a big run down, because it's very complicated at this moment with all the news and what's happening, and with all this technical overview is the same. That's what I'm saying, just go for the smaller profits at this moment, take profits. So also if you would look in here, it does look like head and shoulders a little bit upside down. So you see it's quite a bit of the signs that possibly it should continue recovery, right? Go for a bit of more of correction. And like I'm saying, with the last week news, I would have expected a little bit pairs of taking advantage of the weak news for American dollar. So that's why my expectation would have been, yes, they should really go for a bit of a correction and then prepare for the news. And if there are again some news, except you see there was not much of reaction, but who knows, and then it could be that move back down again. Okay, so correction and then continue, because they were all the pairs are bearish against American dollar. But you see, it all can change if, like for example, the markets might already include that tapering they're going to do in November. So stronger news for American dollar would have been, of course, pushing it even higher, but because of this not very strong news, that's why we still have this kind of uncertainty on the market, and then it's not making big moves. It's kind of like very slow, trying to, you see, going down, going up, and not just Australian dollar, you've seen in the other pairs too. Okay, so that's pretty much that's it. Like I'm saying, from here I would rather like wait again, see if it will stay in this area. Maybe it will try to go back up here. Well, obviously here would be a really nice area for a bit bigger move, or breakout of this both trends. It's plus minus, of course, plus minus, because how to understand the stronger one, if this one, for example, goes down and then goes back up and then stays around the level, and then you would understand if it's a good area and where it could be a little bit more accumulation and then a good move finally, because at this moment you see it's very small moves really. Okay, so that's the view of dollar Australian dollar, and now dollar Canadian. As you can see, guys, is expected, absolutely. I was telling you that dollar CAD I see going down, right? We need that bottom. Remember, I was telling you to turn it around. We need that bottom. It's been going up for quite a while, and this week it smashed it all. Even though you see like dollar was still stronger, right? Dollar Canadian, well, Canadian dollar had really good news, and also oil was going up, so that's pretty much also got into the effect for the pair, and it went down. But even before that I was telling you that I'm waiting for that bottom. Okay, we need that bottom. It's just technical overview, so that's what you expect. So is it enough or not enough? That's the point. Where is that bottom going to be? You see, that's the problem, right? Okay, we can expect the possibility where it can be created, and then turning around point. So at this moment it's going down and stopping right inside this bit of a downtrend channel. So it's perfectly worked out inside this downtrend channel. Even look at this, it was trying to do a fake double bottom, which didn't work out, and still continued down inside the channel and stopped a little bit, well, slightly, see, 124. So quite possibly my expectation would be going down to 124, and here I could connect a little bit of the previous tops, as you can see, right? We had that's where the tops started to change. You see, bigger picture, that was the highest top, and then this was the low top, and that's why it was telling you, okay, down, right? Well, we had this one first, but it was going up, but still didn't break the previous one. So that's where I said to you, yes, we're waiting for that bottom, and now it's more bigger picture of the going down. So you see, as for that, I could connect them and create another little downtrend channel. So that's why, even though you see it stopped here inside our little one, for example, if it will start to break it down, you might think, why is it still continuing the way down? Then you see where, if for example it will stop around 124, maybe slightly higher, it's around this new channel. You see, that's why, guys, I need those levels just to see where it could be stopped, and then we will be waiting for possible wherever consolidation or creation of the pattern, maybe double bottom, triangle, or something else, and then we can place the orders. Of course, for example, in here I would be rather looking into a possible buying, look into the buys, right? For example, here I think it's a little bit early, but a little bit further down, and then possible, yes, I will be looking at it, because it will be more, you see, smashing the bottoms. It's taking the bottoms, right? All the stops we here, it's taken. Of course, we still have this bottom, and that's why quite possibly it can go further down, but I will not be expecting this at this point, because again, you see, the oil might start to go for correction. We will look at oil a little bit later, right, in at the end of the video. And who knows, this new news, whatever they will be, they might be stronger for American dollar. That's why, for example, I might not expect it to go that far. Okay, so might not go that far, and have actually stopping here and started to turn around once again, and then we would be able to connect this bottom with that new bottom, okay, and trying to turn this movement into a finally a turning around point. Okay, so a little bit more into the up trend, changing the trend. Okay, so because at this moment it was looking like as just a correction of this downtrend. Okay, so yeah, that's why we need that bottom. Of course, like I'm saying, this might be just even smashing even more, who knows, but at this moment that's my view as the creation of another bottom. Okay, so that's what we will see, if it's going to do that or not. And as for possible entry points, of course, because it's like I'm saying, it's quite a lot around here, I wanted to go to continue go down. and then I will be looking at that next possibility. If, for example, from here it would decide to go for a little bit of correction, then of course I would look, well, you see like this little channels creation, then we will see, maybe it will give us a bit bearish flag again. I see it has a little bit of the double bottom in here, so that's why it might go for a bit of a correction, but my expectation would be still to finish it, to go somewhere around 124. That would be a little bit better, but you see it might still treat this channel, and that's why it might go for correction, might even go higher all the way, and then fall down to around 124 even further, who knows. But yes, at this moment, like I'm saying, this one is not looking into place orders in here, unless, like I'm saying, opening the market, it might come down, sit a little bit, maybe sit underneath this level, might give us like a triangle in here, like a little wedge or something. Then maybe I will look at that area then. But at this moment it's too early, because this is pretty much nothing tells me at this moment, except like, yes, we are in a bearish channel still going down. Okay, dollar yen. Also, guys, you see from the previous week, exactly as I expected, the first possibility is that that was a correction and we will go back up again. Okay, so that's exactly what happened this week. It's created that little double bottom, which I was telling you about as a possible entry point. Okay, so that was that little double bottom, and first went up, then it tried to break it again. But then you see it started to have a little consolidation coming back in the same area of the double bottom, and you see it's continued the way up. So pretty much done as expected. So now it's looking like a big double top, which means that possibly now it would want to go for correction, right, of this big move, right? Okay, we did have a little one that went up, finishing up this channel, right? And so that's why, yes, of course, I will be looking at possible sell and inside this channel and go for a nice correction. But like I'm saying, we need to be careful with dollar, right? With all the situation. So what I'm waiting for, well, of course, let's have a look, is with the continuation of up. Of course, it can continue to go up. And you see we have a lot of concentration in here, lots of tops, right, before the next big one. So that's why I am not going to be excluding the possibility that, yes, it can break this, where 112 we stopped roughly, right? This is where like some other little tops are, and it's just touched it. So I will not be excluding it might go further to 114 and then started to do the same, consolidate, right, to sit in here. And then afterwards, like for example, not go into this channel, like not go into the correction or something, right? But have a jump higher and then go for, well, kind of correction going down and then sit in here and who knows, maybe continue the way up. Like possible, it's very possible with the situation right now. Which, like I'm saying, with this tapering, which we're expecting in November, that's why I think afterwards it might start to pick up with the stronger other pairs against dollar, so then dollar might start to be a little bit weaker. But before that, it's quite possibly like before the November, it still might continue to be stronger. But like I'm saying this week, it might be a little bit of reaction on the news, but with the next news also, who knows what they will be. So that's why corrections I'm not going to be excluding. So you see on the 1 hour time frame is better picture in here. For example, you see here was a nice sell opportunity, is a double top, right? And the same, expecting here possible little double top, or like again, for any pattern, right? So like I'm saying, from here it might go a little bit higher and feel it's stopped right exactly at the previous level, previous tops. As you can see in here where I have that went far now here. Well, on the smaller time frames you can't see it much, but on a 4-hour chart we can see the previous tops where it was yes, 4-hour chart is also not really good to see it. That's why we need to look at the bigger time frames. So it did not break the previous stop, so you see it's pretty much stopped at the same area. That's the price, as you can see here, and this is just a little bit of one of the previous stop was higher than where it stopped right now. So that could be a stopping point. Okay, so that quite possibly be. And if it will not, for example, give here like whatever, touch it, go high a little bit or something, maybe even if it will do so, I mean, for example, if it will not, my expectation would be for a bit deeper than correction, right? Okay. If it will give wherever, will try to break out and then come back, then possibly there will be not a big correction again, just some type of correction. But then watch out if it will go below this low top bottom, or it will stay, could possibly be above it. Okay, so if it's not going to break it. So where else to be looking in here? You see that was the pin which covered. We still have lots of pins in here which should be covered at some point. That's why, like I'm saying, expectation could be it might go for this, but at the same time, like I'm saying, it quite possibly it can go more up there with the all this hype with the dollar, and then after whatever the tapering is finished, sitting in there for somehow maybe whatever, sitting for a while, and then eventually to start to go and actually cover those weeks. Okay, when I see those weeks, it is always expectation that at some point it should come back. It's just like a gap with the gaps, the same. But you see, the problem is it could be days, it could be months, it could be years. Okay, and at this moment, because the dollar still looks a bit stronger, it might not go for all the way down the correction. Okay, so let's just watch out this area, and I just explained to you the possible entry points. Okay, so wherever the pattern, we're waiting for some kind of pattern, right? And see if it will break this top, or if it will not break. Like I'm saying, once again, you see, if it will break this up and then go for a bit of a correction, of course, somewhere I will be looking at possible buys, entry points with the next break, smash on this, and continue the way up. Okay, and but if it will not break it, then I will be looking more towards, okay, going down, smash on this bottom, and then see where is the next stop is going to be. If it's going to be lower, then I would be looking at it going down and maybe even breaking this bottom, right, and go for a bit deeper correction. Okay, so that's how I look at it. It will depend on the stop, quite possible. Okay, so one of the expectation. Pound yen. Okay, so pound yen got stronger also this week. Is again, as I was telling you about it, right, less problems with this energy crisis thanks to Russia. Okay, we have less stress in Europe, and you see here, as expected, what I was telling you guys, triangle. You see, that's my favorite triangle. From here it went up for the third top. You see, it's created two tops, it's created two bottoms, and like I was telling you, with the triangles we have third is usually a breakout. So you see, it's actually created it first, then went down, and then came back and actually smashed it this time and went even higher to the next top. So nothing unexpected. Again, pretty much as I was telling you, what I was expecting last week happened exactly, pretty much with the first possible expectation, right? Because I have different scenarios and work out around them different ways during the week. So now, technical overview, yes, it's came out from this kind of downtrend channel, all right, so still stays inside this big uptrend, so it does look like it's created as another bottom and trying to go for a recovery. But because the pound is still not as strong with the economy and everything else and the Brexit, it still can go as a bit flat. Remember, I was telling you about it also in my previous videos. It could be just in a flat area. So in here, it does look like it started to break out. It took this top and it got a little bit of the previous top, but still stays below another tops. Okay, so because of that, with the opening of the market, it might go, and again, not breaking, it might go a little bit higher, but still would try to go back down. And again, stays in this area, or maybe slightly higher in this area or something, until there is anything else. It does look like it doesn't want to go much lower, like this inside this channel. You still don't know, anything can happen, wherever, like Brexit problems or something else going on can push it down, right? But at this moment we're looking at that area as a possible flat before something big will happen and make a bigger move. Okay, so of course, once again, looking at possible entry points. So from here I would see a little bit to the next one, wherever it would want to stop. I will not go in a place like buy orders just yet, because it's been going up for quite a while now, possible correction expectation, right? And you see here, it's, at this moment it's nothing, it's just like a little bit of a beginning of consolidation. That's why I'm saying it might just have a bit of a week and not getting today and then coming back. So if it will consolidate a little bit here, whatever it will try to break out or not, this would be my possible entry point. At this moment, of course, like looking a little bit more into the sell, right, to go for a little bit of correction. You see it went like nearly 200 pips from the previous bottom, so you see good a bit of a correction, and we will not be excluding. So that would be my first possibility. Like I'm saying, first either consolidation here, or maybe trying to break out and come back, and then placing orders. Of course, if it will try to go even higher, then I will be looking at the higher level, but still looking into the sell. Okay, at this moment, because it's went for quite a while, and even like let's say it's broke that triangle, right? It still could come back into it and continue the way down inside it, because they still can be considered as a double top. Okay, so that's why expectation at this moment, it could be false breakout. Okay, yes, it's broke our top, but it still can go back. See, with the breakout points, you always have to be careful. Of course, if it will continue the way, it might smash this one level and go even further and then stop wherever it wants, right? The previous stop again, or somewhere in the middle, could possibly be something like that. I will not be excluding this. So that's why for now, just waiting time wherever it would want to stop a bit of consolidation or anything else. But yes, I would be looking more into the sell because of this correction of this up move a bit, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Euro pound, you see guys, again, euro pound expectation going down. The pound was looking like a little bit stronger, and you see from here exactly what happened. It's broke, it smashed the previous bottoms, came out from our uptrend channel, well, that daily chart is a little bit better. Actually, we do have a little bit here, you see the downtrend, which I didn't really looked at it as much. You see, it's like here, and it does look like we're a little bit sitting inside that. Okay, so I'm not taking this away just yet, this uptrend, because yes, it stopped higher than the previous bottom, still it didn't break it. And as for that, it could possibly be trying to go back up again, and who knows, maybe again into our little uptrend channel. So that's quite possibly be, because yes, it could be false breakout technical picture, right? Technical. Yeah, I mean, there is not much of the like news for either. Just watch out if wherever there will be news. I think there will be pound news actually this week, so quite possibly if there's a stronger, of course it might continue the way down. If weaker, it will turn around finally. So that area could be, you see, it stopped but still above the previous one. So that's why we will see. I mean, right now, once again, with like I'm saying, it's sometimes maybe just way better to stay away from this pair, like, you know, wait a bit for the better opportunity. When there was some smaller trades I had and a better opportunity, it was, look, you see, if that's the channel. So from here, yes, my expectation could be, as it's, you see, it had actually nice consolidation, but it didn't go too far. When it's broke it's accumulated it quite nicely, but it didn't want to break the bottom, and it stayed above it, the previous one, you see. So that's why it might easily to try to go back up in here, right? So that's maybe I will be looking at just placing the pending orders buy also for a bit of a correction of this movement. And at the same time, let's say if it will decide to go from here to the next bottom, we have about 30 pips, and even further about 50. So that's you see, it could be not that bad to place those orders, but like I'm saying, maybe it would rather just to wait a bit and to see if it's like would be trying to go back. Like I'm saying, it could be maybe just risk and place the actual pending buy order here. It also looks a little bit like a shoulder. This could be head, and it could, like you see, go up a bit and then come back. And all the point is very, very narrow, very small distances. You see, it might just go only 20 something pips, which is not going to be enough for me. And that's it. From here, go back and give that shoulder. So you see, is not way. I might just wait for this as a bit of a confirmation. When it go back and around this top, or maybe go high, which would be better, yeah, breaking it slightly and then coming back again to the same area or slightly above, then I would be looking at placing orders buy. That would be a bit more confirmation. Of course, it might run away all the way, but at this moment, because it's not that much moving, well, except from these areas, right, when it was right from the top going down, in from here, yes, it might have the all the way, but at this moment there is nothing like on the market which have the something like that might happen, like from here have a big move up, unless, like I'm saying, the news, there's something again in the news. So as for that, like I'm saying, quite risky to place the pending order buy from here, and also like sell from here, because could be stopped by this level, and this one could move just slightly. On the other hand, if it will try to go back up a little bit and you know, not breaking those stops and go straight down to this, then possibly placing the pending order sell, then I would be like, let's say 90% more sure that it will continue smashing that bottom and actually reaching the next one, right, the previous that bottom. So that's why in here it's a little bit risky to place orders now. So I'll wait a little bit, just as I explained. Gold, look at gold. It was sitting all the week pretty much flat. I actually had a trade on the news event. Actually, I didn't trade any other pairs because I didn't see them nicely prepared except gold. Gold was sitting all week. I didn't have any trades, and then I was, okay, it has to be some good move. It did, but not still, again, not huge move. Came back in the same area. Look at this. So of course now you probably realize this is my entry point. That's it. With the opening of the market, if there will be no jumps or anything, that would be my area to place the orders. Of course, from here I would say could possibly we jump out, came back, and if it's inside here, it should continue the way down. But it's the point is I'm going to place the orders both direction in this area, because as you can see, it's actually high than above the previous all tops, and the bottom slightly high. But you see the tricky is there's lots of stops in here, lots of stops, and around this area. That's why first it might go down, collect all the stops, and then turn around and go for that week, because you see on the bigger time frames we have this week, and you know week is going to be covered, and we have previous one, you see it didn't reach it. That's why yes, and it looks like a bit of a head and shoulders now, right? So that's why, yes, I pretty much sure it will go and cover it, but like I'm saying, first it might go down and it will give us the shoulder, perfect shoulder, and then we'll try to cover up. But again, quite possible it might go back to this later, like I'm saying, again, with all the situation with the dollar, it might go even further down, actually first to cover this week. So not sure about it, how strong dollar going to be this week, or how weak it will be, because you see this uncertainty again. It's created the week. What is this? It's uncertainty. The market is not certain what to do, because a lot of people are not sure exactly what to do because of this not good news for American dollar on one hand, and still tapering on the other hand, you see, and that's why nobody knows. But doesn't matter for my strategy, because if I place both directions, I'm gonna catch the move anyway. So that's why I don't really care. To be honest, I don't even need to wait and think which way it will go. Just as long as it goes, it's perfect. As long as it gives us these consolidations, that's it. That's all we need. Okay, we need a good move, and even if it will have a bad move first and then give a good move next, then it's always a recovery, right? You take a loss and then you make a profit and cover the loss. So that's why, that's it. That's the perfect. Just hopefully not going to be any gaps. Okay, not going to be any gaps, but pretty much I would be sure if it will even have a gap somewhere down, it probably will go a little bit down, and I will be looking at placing the pending orders buy. Okay, that would be even more towards, you know, trying to go back up and cover it. Of course, if it will have a gap up, then probably expectation would be it will cover it, or maybe first it will go and close that gap and go down. We will see, but at this moment I just don't want to talk about it. I want to see how the market will open. Will it be a gap or not? Okay, and then we will see. But that's definitely my area. The only thing is here, guys, it might consolidate slightly narrow in here, or just ignore that level and use this, the bottom one, right? So it might go straight. so in this channel, which is about 50 pips, which is fine for gold. Is a normal size channel, so that could be flat channel like that, and perfect place in the pending order sell from here, collecting all these stops, collecting all this, and go wherever it will decide to go, maybe stop here or go even further down, and at the same time placing the pending order here, so expecting a possible try to cover that pin. So yeah, easy with gold at this moment for the entry point. Okay, and then we will see what's next. Oil now, and you see that's how it's actually happened. I didn't remove this level just to show you what you see. The expectation was that possible started to turn around, and we stopped here. It was a little gap even on 1 hour time frame. I was showing it to you, and you see it started to, it's covered it first, yeah, it's closed that little gap and then started to turn around. Pretty much that could have been your possible entry point, which I was telling you about this area, but which is that level. So you see, that's what I need, these levels, and that's how I use it. But I'm saying I'm not trading the oil at this moment. So yeah, I was telling you also it was an uptrend channel, right? But the first signs we had here, slightly, we had a little bit, but it's continued the way up. So it's, again, look, it didn't get right to 80, right? Next quite strong round number. First created, you see it on smaller time frame, it's created this little double top. That's what you look for, right? When the big moves, watch out for these tops. Here it was a little bit of like a little triangle, a little wedge, which was meaning more of continuation of the trend. And here it's created the reversal pattern. It's a double top. Okay, so that's what you look for: double tops, double bottoms, the reversal. Of course, they could be fakey, but what can you do? Just place the orders and expect a reverse, or well, it could have continued. But anyway, so that was one of the signals where you could place your order, let's say here as a sell. Sometimes it's possible to actually place from the previous top. When you see you had a previous top, it's created, it came out and then came back, and then you would have been selling actually higher before the neck area. This is another way of doing this, okay? Another possibility. So then went down, it smashed just that bottom, but you see a little bit of this one, but didn't go further. So, and stopped pretty much on top of our channel. You see, guys, this was a stopping point. I mean, of course, here you wouldn't catch this move on the way up because it just turned around and didn't give anything. I mean, it was a bit of a double bottom, but very big one. So everybody was just jumping in here. There were actually some news, that's why it's moved. Okay, on Monday they had this OPEC meeting or something, and then I was telling you always, watch for those news. So now you see, once again, it's creating a double top, right? Creating a bit of a double top. It's slightly above the previous one, right? So you see it's closed a little bit above, but still below 80. And again, as it's slightly higher, it might go for a bit of a small correction again, right? Not smashing this bottom and then continue the way up again. But it quite possibly be a little bit now calm down with all the situation, right? Like in England, they had a big problem like last week, but now it's a little bit more calm. So quite possibly, actually, oil might start to go for a little bit better correction, right? For going a little bit lower. But at this moment, this does look like a bit of this double top, but it's not is good at this moment because it started to, you see, go a little bit up. I mean, it has a pin, so quite possibly it will go and cover that pin and you know, continue. But at the same time, the opening market from here, it might go a little bit more high. So watch out where this would go. If it will go and try go more high, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, for example, I wouldn't jump straight away in the sell. Okay, I wouldn't jump into this because it started to turn around a little bit. If here we had a nice breakout and coming back, here you see it's broke, it came back, but it's already kind of covered up this previous bottom. You see it touched below it and then went up a little bit. So see, if this one, for example, maybe the better entry point would be if it will go a little bit higher and then stays below the top, and then you know, from here somewhere, like, just started to turn around. This could be a higher and better possible entry point. Well, of course, it could be risky. It might start to fall down straight away, and maybe just a little bit below to look for the possible entry point. And but it might, like I'm saying, go even higher this stop, okay? So, and who knows, maybe even go to 80. It's quite possible, just because this is a little bit higher than the previous one. That's why they still might try to go higher, okay? And if, for example, it goes higher and go for, again, for a bit of a correction, might take these bottoms, but not go down like, for example, this bottom, if it will be higher. If it will stay below this and another top, try to go up, but rejecting it again, then, for example, I would be more towards it will go down, maybe like slow, but taking this bottom, okay, taking that pin. So go further down and taking that pins, have a little bit more into a correction, bigger correction, okay? But this moment, it's in uptrend channel. It's an uptrend, okay? At this moment, it's still an uptrend, but again, like it was here, starting a little bit looking like, okay, double top, a bigger double top now. So quite possible, yes, it might would want to go down, but just as explained to you, that's how I would be looking at possible entry point. Just wait a little bit, see with the opening where this top will be, okay? If it will be trying to break it even more, or actually will stays below it, okay? And then look for the entries. Bitcoin, this is the daily chart. As expected, again, remember I was telling you about we need a bottom. So we got the bottom and finally it went up. But remember I was also telling you, be careful, because it could be another top, just like this one. Yes, now still, right, I was telling you that from here, because it gave us this bottom, and especially it was a double bottom, expectation was it started to turn into a bullish signal, right, into a bit of a bullish signal. But we still have to go through this point. This is top of the top, you see, right? That's it. It's the end of this channel. It's right there. It's trying to reject it at this moment. But the good thing in here is that we broke that top, okay? It went up above it. So now we need another bottom, okay? So, or maybe consolidation, right, for the next move. So it might just sit here, right, give us like whatever, triangle here or a little bullish flag, and then continuation. But again, we still need, it would still go for another bottom. Technical overview, I'm talking about technical. There was some positive news again, but you see, basically, for example, from here, if it will go up, that would be just perfect, right? And then turns around, give us another bottom. Could be again above 50, slightly below 50, but above the previous bottom. Then that's it. I would have been saying, yeah, it will be starting to climb and we'll be trying to take over that top, okay? And yes, we want to see it higher. But while it didn't do it, you can't really say from here if it will do it right now, because it needs technically another bottom, okay? So that's pretty much it. I mean, here you can't even draw it like, you know, if it will go up there, because that's our channel, that's our new channel. You see that bottom, and this top, and that's where you see it's to the roof up there. No roof, I mean, can go higher and higher. I can't even look at it and here how far it can go. I mean, a lot of people are expecting a huge high prices, very high, over 100. Someone says $1 million, it could be. It can be, it's Bitcoin, nobody knows. But we're talking about with a technical picture, right? Technical view. So, yeah, that's what, at this moment, you see a little bit of creating double top in here, which means it might go down a bit, right? A bit down, but like in here, like I'm saying, if it will go down, and then I'll create another, wherever bottom, maybe in here somewhere, then I will be still looking, now I would be looking only at placing the buy orders, okay? I mean, after the move down first, okay? Or wherever, if it will have a bit of consolidation in here, I would still be looking more towards buying opportunities more than selling opportunities, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So that's the first area to look for. Okay, at this moment it's rejecting it, which is obviously normal, and technically we need a correction or creation of the pattern, continuation of the trend, okay, continuation of the pattern of the trend. So if there is a pattern, pretty much only placing the buy pending orders. If it's like you see started to create a little bit double top on a smaller time frame, so then it quite possibly can go as a sell, could be, but very risky, but still. And of course, the bad thing would be if, for example, if it will go and try to smash that bottom, then of course, but I don't see it happening because there were no bad news. I didn't hear anything bad. And as for that, I mean, of course, it can happen at any moment, but talking right moment, at that minute, let's say today, at that day, it might go just for the small correction, wherever it can stop in here, or pattern continuation. I mean, yes, it's creating a bit of a double top, but which can turn into wherever, and any pattern. It might just be false double top, and wherever can create here is a continuation, right? So at this moment, I would be only looking for the buying opportunities. Okay, go for correction, another bottom something, and let's say look for a buy. Here also, again, need a pattern. At this moment, it's the reverse pattern. We see double top is the reverse pattern, but like I'm saying, it could be just a fakey one. It might stop here, somewhere in the middle, so just watch out for it. So that's my view on Bitcoin at that particular moment in time. So that's it, guys. Long video again. I'm just trying to give you as many details as possible of my thoughts, what I'm expecting, and of course the possible entry points. And if you like the video, of course, don't forget to like, subscribe. Unfortunately, I was not sending any signals, guys. I have a little bit different way of trading right now. I am I'm not sure how to make it better working for you guys, and that's why I don't want to confuse you if some trades, because I'm watching now through the day. I had quite early morning trades, and slightly not the same as my usual way of placing the orders. I still use my EA, of course. It's very helpful because I trade like few pairs and I can't watch them all the time, and but it's a little bit different. So I want to just trade a little bit longer, and then I will share with you what I do, and when I will be sending you my, for example, signals again, which you can try to see what I'm doing, you will be understanding a little bit more what is going on, because you see the markets are always changing, and right now in this kind of situation, the way it behaves, and some moves are not as big. So for example, my 20 pips I don't use as much. For example, I have only 10 pips distance from my channels or the patterns, or I'm like jumping into the double tops a little bit earlier, and that's could be a bit of confusing. So that's why I need really to make a video, explain to you what I'm doing, so you understand what exactly is happening. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. So happy trading, everyone, and I see you in my next video. Bye.